Ray Wang joining us now via Skype. He's the principal analyst, founder, and chairman of Silicon Valley-based Constellation Research. Welcome back to the show. Ray, you know, it's interesting. There were so many virtual events last year. I can't begin to count them all, but this is one of those events where you just can't do that. I mean, you want to eye the gadgets, you want to get in there, you want to experiment like Mark's doing right now. Talk to us about the difference last year to this year.
You know, Happy New Year, and I really want to know where Mark is because I'm going to go find that chair. So the difference is, you know, last year was virtual, right? Things came by, it was really fast, you kind of got a glimpse of things. This year, you can touch things, you can talk to people, the lines aren't there, which means you can go out and feel things. I mean, I sat in the John Deere tractor. I got a chance to try the Canon virtual reality lenses, right? I got a chance to actually try these haptics. I was at the Touchpoint booth where you could actually see the metaverse and what was going to happen next, right? Those were things you couldn't do in the traditional sense. And of course, it's fun having that interaction.
And Ray, we might point out you're a courageous guy. I don't see a mask on you. Understandably, with Omicron spreading like crazy, a lot of people opting not to come. Lots of recent headlines saying the list of exhibitors actually contracting. It's still a good number, though, listening to Mark, 2,200 exhibitors. But give us a sense of who's in and who's out.
You know, there are a lot of folks that are here, right? And I think, you know, to understand who's in, right, you saw Canon, you saw John Deere, you saw Bobcat, you saw, you know, Panasonic to some degree. You saw Sony definitely was here, right? I mean, so there are companies that are here. Hisense is here, RoboSense is here from China. So there's a lot of talk about the folks that aren't here. And I think, you know, I'm in a hermetically sealed pod at the moment, right? That's why I don't have a mask, but you can kind of see what's going on out there. Everybody else, you know, is masked out there as they're walking by. But the folks that are here are the big delegations of countries, right? You see Japan here, you see Israel, you see Italy, you see a big set of folks from, you know, Korea, right? So all the folks are here. I mean, they've definitely got their booths going. They've got their things, Italy, Taiwan folks. I mean, there's just a lot of tech startups here in Venetian where Eureka Park is. And so, you know, they're definitely here. You can't say folks aren't here. Like Hisense just announced their 4K, their 8K TV, right? And other folks are showing, you know, off their wares. But a lot of folks didn't come. But in the media side, the international press is here in full force. The domestic folks that are here in the US, most of them didn't come. So.
Yeah, so talk to me about the thinking, organizers deciding still to move forward with an in-person event, even when some of these big names were dropping out.
You know, at some point, you just got to say, look, if you want to come, we want to give you the choice, right? You're vaccinated, you're masked, you're boosted, right? And you want to meet, let's just have the event. And I think enough sponsors said, look, we want to proceed, we want to go ahead. Numbers might be down, but you know what? They're still getting that meeting that you wouldn't have gotten before. I had 100 meetings in the last 3 days that were pretty impressive. And to me, you know, those are meetings I probably wouldn't have been done on Skype. It wouldn't have been the same context. When you break bread, it's a very, very different experience.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Talk to me about safety protocols, because obviously there's still always concerns. And how are people reacting to the requirements?
You know, everybody's masked. The Venetian, every venue here, the security folks have people in their masks. They're definitely enforcing that very strictly. You can't get in without a vaccine or proof of vaccine. They're taking those cards very carefully. And, you know, for some of the folks who registered early, they got, you know, COVID testing kits as tchotchkes for the event. So, I mean, you can't possibly ask for anything else at this rate. So.
Really, that's like gold, right? Talk to us about Chinese companies. What are some of the ones that you're seeing? What are some examples of what they're showcasing?
You know, RoboSense had a very cool LiDAR sensor system that they were demoing, and that's really important for autonomous vehicles because you got to be able to sense obstacles, know where you are on the road. And of course, I said Hisense had a really good launch of their new 8K TVs. So I think that's important, right? We're down. There were something like almost 1,600 Chinese firms here in the past in 2019. And so, you know, there's definitely a drop off there. But, you know, I mean, there aren't, I think there's a lot of innovation to be had, and it's really around analytics, automation, AI. You're seeing that in EV technology. You're seeing that in conversations about the metaverse. And more importantly, there's a lot of health tech, ag tech, and of course, space tech going on here.
We got about 20 seconds, Ray. Anything knock your socks off today? I know you're going to go find that massage chair soon, but what's been the highlight so far for you?
There's some autonomous drones, level 4 autonomous drones that can do everything on their own. And of course, the metaverse economy. It's a $15 trillion marketplace by the end of the decade. And all the folks that are building towards that, from cold wallets all the way to metaverse universes like Touchpoint.
Well, Ray, we'll let you get back to all of that. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. Coming up on the program.